Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Coddywwomple's Bookstop. Here I am before you with a visual treat on what Dead Poets Society and freedom writers have for us in 3 parts. Undoubtedly, this is the first part, so let's get straight into the video. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Indeed, words have that enormous power to change the world. It can influence, inspire, and make you do amazing things. For our luck, we have Professor John Keating from Dead Poets Society to inspire and instill us with the powerful thoughts using his powerful words. Dead Poets Society is a classic American teen drama which was released in 1989 and directed by Peter Weir, starring Robin Williams, Ethan Hawke, Robert Sheehan, Leonard, and so on. The cinematography is worth appreciating, which was done by John Seal, who was nominated for Best Cinematography for Mad Max Fury Road. I'm sure you must have watched it. And the question is, why shouldn't we? We are all, after all, literary enthusiasts, and we can't simply miss any classic, right? And why this film? Why this film falls under a must-watch category? I have reasons to state. First of all, this is not simply a story where someone comes and goes and makes some changes, but how the influence continues irrespective of where we stick, and how it thoroughly deconstructs and reconstructs certain ideologies of a conformist society. Here we have an interesting, charismatic, energetic, unconventional teacher, John Keating, at the elite conservative Vermont boarding school named Walton Academy, who inspires the gloomy students oppressed under conformity to seize the day and thus celebrate their life. As the film opens, we have this amazing shot by John Seal where flocks of birds are seen taking the skies, by the lake, over the fields where the boys are contrastingly found flocking to a class down a flight of stairs. Human beings are inherently terrible nonconformists, I have to say. There is an innate urge in every human being to soar to the heights unaccessed, but painfully, the strict and unorthodox conventions that existed in 1950s proved that students were just preparing for their grades and not for a true lived life. The way how the students Charles, Neil, Knox, and Meeks recite their own version of the 4 pillars: tragedy, horror, decadence, and excrement against Gail Nolan's most acclaimed mottos of the best preparatory school in US, Walton Academy: tradition, honor, discipline, and excellence is quite thought-provoking. The jubilant introductory scene of Robin Williams coming whistling to the class without jackets against the monotonous conjugations of Latin and penalizing strains of stern trigonometry lessons are beautifully captured to make this point very much clear. Surprisingly, Keating summons the boys to the Walton Alumni Hall, asking them to call him "Oh Captain, my Captain," the quote by Walt Whitman about Abraham Lincoln. It seems like Lincoln is Keating's hero, and the very name John Keating is in itself synced with the romantic poet John Keats, whose same romantic and celebrated life is reflected in the rebellious life of Keating. He asked the students to gather their rosebuds before they die, and thus proclaiming carpe diem as the essence of life for which they all yearn for. He thus asked to make their lives extraordinary, and the scene is a much remarkable one from Dead Poets Society. In another context, he asks the students to read the entire section of their book, which mathematically measures the excellence of a poem based on perfection and importance. Keating insists that they must learn to think for themselves and savor words and languages. There he makes this fantabulous comment on poetry. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are the members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are all noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. Absolutely. These are what we stay alive for and what makes our lives complete. We don't want to make our lives to be a silly examination in the laboratory or a deep delving of an ostrich's head into the desk of files. We want moments of love and life to live. In the next scene, we see his power as a great influencer who churns out a poem from the introvert toad by making him speak whatever comes to his mind. Literature is not confined to set rules and regulations. Poetry is what simply we yearn for, and that's why we want to be part of it. Keating makes the boys march in a line in their own way. In another scene, he doesn't want the boys to be conformed to one particular way of living. Neither any one of us, we don't want conformity ruling and inhibiting our passions and ambitions. Keating makes the ambitions. That's where Robert Froest's line becomes significant as told by Keating's. Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. And for sure, if we want to make any difference, we have to choose the road less traveled by. And this teacher instills this lesson rather beautifully. The climax of the film is the testimony of his free-thinking ideology when his students pay tribute to their favorite teacher who taught them the meaning of life by addressing him, "Oh Captain, my Captain." The film is a manifestation of carpe diem and sticking to one's unique way of choice to create a difference in their world. This literature is sucking the marrow out of life and living life to the fullest. As Albert Einstein says, there are only two ways to live. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. As Keating says, to quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the Christians of this recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what could amid this, O me, O life?" Answer, that you're here, that life exists an identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?